there's anybody watching. There's.
Oh, I don't know yet either. I'm clicking on go live. I tell you what, mate. I'm just right. I think we're live now.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, a few minutes late. I just had a bit of a to do with my co-op delivery that refused. So there's nobody watching just yet. But what happened, Rich? I've had this before with co-op, and they've always come to the door. You know, because I'm in a flat. And he says, "Oh, you have to come down."
Right, I'm fucking around on the other, on that. You should have just switched me on, Rob. I've been sat here like a melon.
Sorry,
So
mate.
I don't know. I don't know. Have I got to say something? Have I not? Have you flicked it on?
No, you weren't live, mate. You're live now.
Yeah, I know. It's just come up, but you should have flicked it on before. I shouted to you, Rob, before you fuck down four flights of stairs with your bad back and your bad legs. No, just flick me on.
There's a lift here, mate.
Rob, I've just given out all the secrets of the universe. Thinking everybody in the world was watching.
That took almost 2 minutes.
Eh?
Oh, my word. I swear down.
Co-op delivery. What do you want to do
when I went down to see the guy to let him in from Missouri, he couldn't be more apologetic. I said, "Listen, mate, I've been off work for 2 weeks with sciatica." I said, "I've had to come down and get this." I said, "I've never had to come and pick up my delivery. Everyone else has come up." And he was, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Next time I'll definitely come up." I said, "Right, okay, you've redeemed yourself on this occasion."
I see. So when Bill Gates turns up and he says, "Here, listen, all you people that I've done this certain thing to, all you people that I've ruined your lives, and Klaus Schwab's and the Boris Johnsons," and they say, "Oh, we're really sorry," are they going to be redeemed? No, you got to punish them, mate. You're the lord of your flipping decision making. Yeah, how you doing, Rob? Anyway, good to see you not in pain. Is anybody in the chat?
Yeah, we've got one person watching at the moment.
That's me.
First of all, I'd like to apologise to any of my subscribers. I have been that much in pain in the last 2 weeks. I have had no incentive to do anything. I booked a holiday from work to originally go to Bournemouth to see my family and that. That went out the window because I was unable to travel because I was in so much pain. So I basically spent 2 weeks of my holiday in these 4 walls. I'm now on the road to recovery. So I'm getting there, you know. But it always seems to happen to me, Rich. If I plan something, you can guarantee it goes tits up. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I planned a trip to Liverpool with my beloved. A little few days break away. We were going to go and see the Jersey Boys, the theatre show for Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Booked in at a hotel and everything, and blow me down. Just 2 or 3 days before we were due to go, she came down with the worst flu you could possibly imagine. So we still went. But she spent all the 3 days in the bed. So we didn't get to see the show. Say again, mate.
The screen's going funny. I'm having problems with my my browser. I use Firefox. I've been using it for about 20 years, Firefox, and it's only recently dawned on me, Fire and Fox. Well, Fox is a 666, and Fire is the pit of hell. And they've got a fox wrapped around or a fire and mingled with fox in a sort of yin yang kind of fashion. A fire embracing the globe Earth. So you know, but at the end of the day, Rob, we're in the devil's playground, aren't we? We're in the devil's playground. YouTube, the internet, anything that's got technology to do with it. And I had this thought walking home. When I was walking home, I did rush home to get home to be held up, to be fucking held up by you going running up and down the stairs. I'm only kidding, mate. I had a wicked walk home, mate. I've asked about, I reckon in the last 2 weeks, I've asked about 100 people. Have you heard of the Great Reset? Now today, I must have asked about 12 people. And one person said, yeah, I've heard of it. And this was a busker. And he was playing like synthesized drums. He was out in town. I ain't got enough memory to record it, otherwise I would. But anyway, so I've asked so many people today. I must have asked about a dozen people. I've been in a building society. I said to the girl, but I'm going to start printing them out now, because I write down the same thing. Look at it. Look this up. Look this up. Look this up. Here's my phone number. If it's a girl, I say, well, if you've got a fella, bring them along if you come for a meet with me. But I met this one guy today, and he said, oh, yeah, I heard of a Great Reset. And it's this drummer, long flipping hair, he's Irish bloke, in the town centre. And he said, yeah, I've heard of a Great Reset. I said, what about you alone, nothing, and you will be happy? What are you going to do then? He said, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. And then, honestly, I said, have you heard about the World Economic Forum then? He said, yeah, I've heard of that. I said, just go and have a look on their website, the Great Reset. Klaus Schwab. I'm like, no, it's a conspiracy theory. So somewhere out there, there's this narrative going around. And this is going to be, I don't know, is it mainstream? Nobody's never heard of it. One person. And anyway, so I thought, right, I'll come home now, because it was hot. And I thought, right, I popped in the Sainsbury's impromptu. I'm trying to get some methylated spirits. I can't find it. I don't know whether methylated spirits cures the old monkey thing. And they're whipping it all off the shelf.
That's what you normally drink, isn't it, Rich?
Drink. That's I'll tell you what.
Hey! That looks like a poor man's velvet to me.
I'll show you what it is. You're pretty spot on there. It's very astute of you, Rob.
Oh, Henry West vintage cider.
Yeah.
What proof is that?
All the proof you need, mate.
All the proof you need.
That is 8.
I bet that's about 5.6 or something like that, isn't it?
That's 8.2.
Oh my word!
Yeah, and then half and half. I like to share my things. Half and half.
Hey, the old Guinness Porter.
And that is, it's a very rare one for me. 6%.
Hey, that's not a poor man's black velvet, mate. That's a rich man's velvet.
This is rich of mind and soul, mate. A rich souled man's velvet, black velvet.
And look at me on the Coca-Cola tonight.
Is that Coca-Cola, is it?
Yeah.
No.
Got a bit of vodka as well, right?
Bit of vodka in it. Oh, vodka ruined. I can't stand fizzy drinks in. Oh, Merlot. What's the proof on that, Rob?
13%.
Oh, not bad.
One of my favourite Merlots.
Is it?
Yeah, part of the delivery that I just got from Co-op.
You've drunk it already? No wonder you've got all away.
Look, my glass. Look, still empty.
Yeah, it's empty, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I haven't opened it yet. I'm just drinking my Coca-Cola first.
Yeah. So, and this is a rare one. This was three bottles for $5 of this, and I don't drink really at home, but today was just so hot out. I got one of those. I got a Thatcher's Vintage, I think. It was about 7.4%. But I said, oh, 3 for $5. Can I have like one of these, and one of those Thatchers? He said, yeah, go on then.
Yeah,
3 for $5. So it's not bad, but you can't get 2 pints in a pot for $5. You might go to Witherspoons, but
that Guinness Porter, the Co-op have got a deal on that. It's a bit more expensive, like at my Co-op. It's 3 bottles of Guinness Porter for £5.50.
Oh, so yours is I drink poor man's velvet. You drink slightly richer man's velvet. That's what you pay for it now. So I'm walking home today, and there's a guy, this young guy, and it's God where it's God flings these things at me. They're coincidental awesomeness, okay? And there's a guy, and he's got this baseball cap on, blue, with LUFC on it.
LUFC?
Yeah.
Is that Liverpool? No. Liverpool. It's not Liverpool United, is it?
Where the fuck are you, Rob, in the world? Where are you?
FC means football club to me, and L was Liverpool, so I don't know what the U stands for, but come on, spill the beans.
Where are you, Rob? Where are you?
I'm at home.
Yeah, whereabouts? And what area are you in?
I'm in the 5th dimension.
Yeah, you ain't with me, are you? LUFC, Rob. Where are you in the country?
Oh, come on, yeah. Sorry, Leeds United. Oh, David Goddard. He's just David Goddard, Leeds United.
Oh, yeah. David, Leeds United. Yeah, this guy had an LUFC hat on, and I said, and I was swimming along because I didn't know whether I'd get home in time to do this because, like you say, it was it's sort of off the cusp, isn't it? Or on the cusp, whatever it is. And so I got an opportunity to have a chat with this guy. Plus, also, I said, "Oh, is that LUFC?" I knew what it was. It was like a blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow, yeah.
I said LUFC. I said, and I knew exactly what it was. But I said, "Oh, LUFC. What's that? Is that Leeds United?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, you from Leeds, are you?" He said, "No." He said, "My dad." Oh no, I said, "Are you a Leeds fan?" He said, "No, my dad is." And I said, "Oh, no." So I got into a conversation. I said, "Oh, I used to be a Leeds fan until I watched them play in a match with Manchester United." And as soon as I see Manchester United, this was going back, probably in the 70s. Man United played Leeds United, and Man United just blew my mind. So I dumped Leeds United and went with Man United, and I've always been Man United ever since then. Just because of their style.
Anybody in Leeds listening to you, my friend, now will be strangling.
Oh, I can assimilate with Leeds fans. I was rattling off all these names like Peter Lorimer and Paul Harvey and Don Revie and Trevor Cherry and Norman Bite Your Legs Owens, and I was rattling them all off. Gordon McQueen, Steve McQueen. And so I immediately, firstly, God shoved this guy in me because I ended up walking home with this guy. He's only 19. And I said to him, "I said, we got a little bit of, he got sort of comfortable with me being like an old bloke, okay?" And I said, "Listen, I ain't weird or anything like that." I said, "I'm here for the children. I'm here doing God's work, okay?" But I said, "Have you heard of the Great Reset?" And he said, "No." "Okay. Have you heard of the World Economic Forum?" He said, "I've heard a little bit about it, but no, not really." Have you heard of the Fourth Industrial Revolution? So anyway, he was walking home. He'd just finished work, and he works for Somerset Council. Okay, it's something to do with child care. Okay, he's a lovely bloke. So we had to stand on the corner, and this put me back about. I was about 20 minutes. I was chatting with this guy, and I'm going out this Saturday with my placard that I haven't made yet. The Great Reset. Nobody's heard of it, Robert.
Well, that's a good thing. All you have to do, you don't have to say anything.
I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say anything.
And people will come to you.
That's what I want.
Say, what's that about? What's this Great Reset?
And this is what I said to this guy as well, just before we left. He said, anyway, he's on his own way home from work. And I said to him, of course, I had to say, "Oh, do you believe in God then?" He said, and when people go, let's get in there. Not really. So anyway, I said, so everything is just like the result of chaos and order out of chaos, rather than what we are now, chaos out of God's order. And so anyway, I'm explaining about you've got to try and assimilate with people with modern science, aka schmience. Okay, so things like the atom and energy and positives and negatives. There's just a way to get people to have a think, you know, and think, oh yeah, that's a point. So I'm going about the clay, we're from the earth and all that jazz, and then but you stick this one in their heads. Where does the consciousness come from? That don't come from the earth. That comes from somewhere else. That's an energy. So anyway, well, I said, right, if you're, you said, oh, I'll be in town Saturday. I gotta go this Saturday, come rain or shine, and I will video as much as I can of it. But honestly, Rob, I went in nationwide. What was I going there for? I think I might. Oh no, I only just went in there to have a check the till, check my balance. But I could have done that outside. But no, let's go inside and have a chat. Because firstly, none of them were wearing masks anymore, and then they were wearing masks the last time I was in there. They'd taken down the old fish tank screen. Okay, well, it looks like they're in an aquarium. They'd taken that down. So I said to them, "Man, I don't really know what's going on in the world because I ain't got a television. What's up? The old thing is finished, is it?" She said, "Oh, I think so." So I said, "Well, what happens when the old monkey thing hits then?" She said, "Oh, I don't know." And then you explain to them that one of the V's, one of the old vacations, one of the old, what do we call it now? Darts.
Yeah.
Has actually got chimpanzee in it.
That's right.
People look and say, and plus you've got the theory of evolution and the Big Bang theory. We come from monkeys. So there's something going on. There's so much, Rob. God, it's like they say, it's a two-edged sword. What doesn't harm us can only improve us, or what, something like that, isn't it? What doesn't kill us can only make us better. If it ain't killed us, it ain't killed you. It ain't killed you. It's gone in there and it's registered. It ain't made you fearful. It ain't made you depressed. It ain't made you negative. The way other people react to it is the negative aspect of it all, isn't it? They were just how other people have been conned.
Well, you know, I mentioned this to you the other day when I was talking to you on the phone. Over the last 2 years, there's a significant majority of people that have refused the vacation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, if what they've said over the 2 years, all the social media, news media, and social media, we should all be dropping like flies. There should be thousands of people literally dropping dead.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around. It's the other way around. I've got to be careful what I say here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But those that have took the vacation, especially the third vacation.
Yeah.
You know, I've had 3 holidays. Some people as young as in their 30s just drop in.
Yeah.
It's staggering.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the things that for them that have actually had the vacation are now starting to think to themselves, what the fuck have we done?
Well, this girl in Nationwide, I said to her, right, have you had the old whatnot? I don't say it. And that's what I call it. Have you had the old whatnot? She said, yeah. She said, but I won't be having a 4th one. All of a sudden, some people have clicked in, but they know, Rob, those cockroaches, they know. They would have planned for all this. They knew there was going to be a massive kickback.
Well, they're attacking the 6-month-old babies now.
Yeah, I know.
Is it the CDC? CDC. They've approved it for 6-month-old babies. You know,
6 months old. 6 months.
Yes.
6 months old. Yeah.
I cannot understand any parent out there that would happily go along with it and accept it. My mind is boggled about it. You know,
I can see that. You want to be careful with that. Listen. If people actually thought what they're actually doing is they're replacing our natural ability to develop an immune system. That's exactly what they're doing. They're stepping in right at the beginning of life.
Well, that's what this vacation does.
That's what it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's meant to actually give the immune system something to practice on, isn't it? Is it? You know, there's a little bit of the old. Here's a little bit of the old disease. Have a fight with that. It's only a little bit, just to, you know, do a bit of sparring with one of these little flipping things they're shoving in you. Whereas we never had this problem before, Rob, until I would say something like thalidomide when that came out. That was like a big boomer. That was like a nuclear bomb. That. Well, and people still ain't learned. People think
people put their trust in it. They trusted them and they believed it, and then you know, they happily took the drug, and look what was the result.
And then this
people
is what I say.
Learn from things like that. I can't believe the amount of people, my friend, who happily rolled their sleeve up and said, "Give me it, give me it, give me it,
give me a job after midnight." No thanks. Listen, this is what I say, and I said this today, and I say every time I go out, Rob, I bump into people. Now, do I bump into them because I want to? Yeah, I do. I want to chat with people. Listen up, you. Not you, Rob. You. I won't say it like that, but it's just like you've got to grab people. A couple of old ladies. I went in and got my cheap tobacco today, and I was outside. They got one of these concrete seats. So anyway, I sat down to roll me tobacco, little cigarette, and then I was going to jolly off at the road because these two little old ladies. Well, they weren't a little old. One must have been in her late 70s, and the other one might have been her daughter. But so I sat there. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely that there. And I dearly hope and pray to God that is the way it will be. That is the way it will be. And this is the thing you've got to think. We are all children in the eyes of God. We are all children in the eyes of God. We are all. Doesn't matter doesn't matter at your ripe old age, Rob, or my ripe middle age.
You're riper than me, my friend. You're riper than me.
Give our lives. It's surprised to be born again. I'm here. There you are.
All right. I don't know. You just froze there for a minute. I said you're riper than me, it froze up.
Oh. Yeah, we're all children in the eyes.
What do they call a plum when it ripens? It becomes a prune, doesn't it?
Say that again.
What do they call a plum when it ripens? It becomes a prune, and that reminds me of you.
No, it doesn't. No, a plum becomes a plum when it ripens, but it becomes a prune when it shrivels up and dies. That's true. A prune ain't a ripe plum. A prune is an overripe plum because a plum is a ripe plum.
No, I was half correct.
I am correct, aren't I?
Yeah, I was half correct though.
Yeah. What should we talk about? Roll the R. Roll the R.
We're going to talk about
that. Yeah, that's Matthew. What's that, Matthew? I know that. That's probably that and Psalm 1. They're my biggest two. There's a load of other ones, but what's it? Matthew 20. Oh no, my memory's like a bag of like one of those bags that people get onions in. Bible.
Sads, mate. It's all sads.
Matthew.
It used to be SIDS.
13. Oh no, it's not. It's Matthew 18. Yeah, I'm just getting it out for myself, really, just because. Yeah, but who should? This is Matthew 18, and that's 18:6. But listen,
you imagine a millstone around your neck, my friend. You get cast into the sea. You imagine a millstone around your neck, and you get cast into the sea. There's not much hope for you, is there?
Well, I've almost drowned, and no, that'll be a shocking death. That's going to be as bad as I don't know whether that's going to be as bad as getting burnt to death. But drowning is well, it's just horrible. It's not as bad as being crucified, though.
Rich, it looks like you're doing that that 666 symbol there.
What, here?
It looked like it for a second there. You went like that.
Yeah. No, that's not 666, is it? That's oh, I've had a thought the other day. 911. You look at 911.
Yeah.
911. Hold it. That's 666. All right. I'm the opposite of a Freemason. Look at that. 9. I'm doing this ass about faces, but no, that's a 9, yeah.
Right.
Have a look at that. See this round bit here.
Yeah.
9
upside down.
No, that's the right way round. 9. That's a 9.
Yeah.
And that finger there is that's a 9 there. 9 1 1. That's a 911, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
How can I do that? I'm doing this ass about face. 9. This is backwards now, isn't it? I just dawned on me the other day because I watched somebody. I was watching somebody talking about 666, and then I was on about 911. But look at that. Where the round bit is here.
Yeah.
And then the tail coming off of it would be my middle finger, wouldn't it? That's your 9.
Yeah.
And then so you've got these 2 digits here that make 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's like, isn't it? How strange is that then? Do you reckon that's got anything to do with anything like 911?
Everything in their numerology, everything's reversed, isn't it? They do everything backwards.
Yeah, it's not that, Rob. It's just that as a symbol, as a sign, is the same as 911. That is 911.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I've never thought of that before, Richard.
No, it come to me. I think there's a guy called I don't know. Ron commented one time about this Franchot Pearson, his name is. That's comes out with stuff, numbers, numerology, and he's a bit like Ron. They sort of know about the goings on, like all these fake things going on, and all these big booms that go off that are pre-planned and things like that, and supermarkets and death and this and that all work by numbers. Okay, so he's pretty much the same as Ron in that. Ron pointed him out because he's not aware of the Mandela effect in the Bible, which I breached with my little Bible club. Okay, and I got to a point where I thought, nah, I'm not going any further with this, because trying to convince people or trying to convince people that perhaps something has been changed, that is pretty much dead set in something. They say if you've got to work hard to convince somebody of something, you've got to work hard to keep them convinced. And I think, right, I'll just stick, because I was on like Flat Earth. I brought Flat Earth up, and I landed on the moon. It was about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there's a guy there, and they're on about, because I mentioned about the moon, okay, and I did this little diagram with the moon shadow and the moon illuminated from the sun. If you had the sun here and the moon here, the shadow, this is the moon shadow would be directly perpendicular to the light coming off of the moon, wouldn't it? So the moon shadow would be upright, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas if the moon shadow was like on an angle, this is awkward, this. If it was on an angle, so it looked like the illumination was coming from, like down here. This is awkward, yeah. Let me draw it quickly. Yeah, and I got to this point, and they're sort of on about oh, you can, oh, NASA released photographs of the rovers or whatever it was that they landed on the moon with. And that was like, fuck that. I ain't going down that street with you. You stick with what you want to know. And I'll stick with it. You know, but there comes a certain point in time when you've got to think, there's no point really. People believe what they believe. Even though, you know, people believe the BBC, they got short memories about what the BBC have been like ever since the war, because that was all bullshit propaganda. Particularly like Jimmy Savile and all this covering up. Now people go back, they got like memories about that long, and then they go back to trusting them, and then end up, you know, believing all that schmuck. And then the same with the government. They end up, you know, they're mocking the government, mock the BBC, mock.
Yes, they do.
You know, but it's like Roliar said about the children. It's the children now, and I've said this, you said this, we've said this. It's the likes of you and me, Rob, are surplus to requirements. In fact, what we are actually are obstacles. We're obstacles, okay, and they don't want us in the way. But anyway, I was sat next to these two little old ladies, and I'm rolling my fag, and all of a sudden I got a waft of fag smoke, and I looked around. This little old lady sat there, and I was like, oh, and so I got into a conversation about the good old days, and we got on about laundry and stuff like that. Oh no, one of them said, oh, I got my laundry out today, and it's like red hot out. I said, oh, cardboard now. But anyway, and then I reminisced about the time when my mum used to go next door. If the laundry was out next door and it rained and Mrs. Massey wasn't in, my mum would go around, take the laundry in, take it back in her house, in my house, fold it up, and take it back the following, you know, when Mrs. Massey and my neighbour would come home. That was normal. And this little old lady is saying, oh, yeah, well, we used to leave our door open, but, you know, we didn't used to worry about not leaving the back door open, this and that. But then I said to her, I said, well, about 15 years ago, I went and lived with my sister for a little bit. I was sort of moving around the country. And I ended up trying to start back up in Bristol. So I stayed with my sister and her family. And it rained one day, and the next door neighbour had their laundry out. So I popped round and I took their laundry in. I took it in to my sister. She folded it up. Anyway, I went round in the evening with this basket of laundry. I said, here, I said, here, here's your laundry. I said, I took it in because it was raining. She said, oh, I reported that to the police. I thought it had been stolen. I said, oh, I'm sorry about that. And then you get into a conversation. This is how it used to be. And it's really quite weird how it's got to be kept alive. These old ways, Rob, got to be kept alive somehow of how things used to be. Like we got one greengrocers, a proper greengrocers, and I got in there today to get some turmeric. Now, it's the only place in town that I can get fresh turmeric because I'm going to try and grow it. It's the only place in there. So I got chatting to this young guy, and I said, oh, it was £1 for 100 grams. So it's like £10 a kilo. But I said, oh, so to get into a conversation, I said, well, how much is like 100 grams? I didn't want to fiddle with it. Everything's out, you help yourself. So when he come over, and he's another 19-year-old guy. I'm bumping into a lot of 19-year-old people. A lot of 19-year-old people. 19. And I explained to him, everything is just all rattled on. I said to him, oh, the Great Reset. You're at the Great Reset. No. And this is what I say. And this guy walking home, I said to him, listen, is there anything that you own? He said, oh, and I said, what, like a television or a computer or anything like that? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what would happen if I come along and come in your house and I took it? Would you? Because I said you will own nothing and you will be happy. But I was saying, well, if somebody come and took away what you owned, would you be happy? And he's like, So anyway, we stopped on this corner. Sorry, I'm chatting so much, but this has only happened within the last couple of hours. So anyway, we're still on this corner, and I said to him, right then, I said, what if I took that hat off your head and claimed it? And then I hit a nerve, didn't I? That hat, he cherished that hat. Might have been from his dad, I think. He cherished that hat, and then I got a nerve. I said, will you be happy if I did that? Oh, no, I wouldn't be happy. I said, well, what are you going to do about it? And it didn't, that we didn't pursue that. That's, you know, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. You will own nothing. You will be happy. That's the law. And, but what I was sort of alluding to in getting him, there's something about 19-year-olds, mate. I meet a lot of 19-year-olds. 19 to 22.
At my place of work, Rich, there's only one person in my place of work, Brian, who you've seen on here. I have a chat with him sometimes. He comes on and has a chat with me. He's the only one that knows about the Great Reset. He's the only one that's got the knowledge.
Honestly,
the only one. Nobody else knows about the Great Reset at my place of work.
And this, I'm telling you, Rob, this is our sword. Is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Listen, because this is the thing. As soon as it happens, like I say, it's a double-edged sword. It's their attack. It's these spiritual wicked people. It's their attack. They're attacking us. But God, we got God to defend us.
Yeah. Okay. Our war is not against flesh and blood.
Absolutely, yes. We know that now. It's a psychological, spiritual war. It's psychological. But this is the thing. This is the thing. When it first came out, and people were saying, "Oh, the mark of the beast, mark of the beast. This is the mark of the beast." No, the old vacation's the mark of the beast. No, it's not the mark of the beast. That ain't the mark of the beast. There's something else that will be the mark of the beast. I don't know what it is for sure, but I didn't think it was that. But it was alluding. It was like that steps leading up.
This is all part of the Great Reset, Rich. The mark of the beast will be. Yeah. It'll be the point where they come to where they say, because they've gone along in stages. They've said, right, you've got a credit card that's got a PIN number. You put your PIN number in a chip, pin and chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, because of, this is the way I see it anyway. They're going to say, because of fraud, because of the danger of having your identity stolen, you need to have that implanted in your hand. And I think that's what it's going to come to.
Well,
they're going to say,
you see, firstly, Rob, what was obvious was Revelation 13, 16 to 18. He also forced everyone sworn in great rich and poor, free and slave to receive a mark in their right hand so that no man could buy or sell. Now, it wasn't the mask. It wasn't the mask of the beast. That wasn't the mark. If you wear a mask, you're accepting of that regime. But what it did do, it demonstrated that you would have to comply to be able to buy or sell. To go in a shop, you had to wear a mask unless you said no.
What baffles me though, Rich, is all those that didn't comply, like myself. Yeah, I'm still alive.
Yeah, I'm still alive. I've got the biggest nostril in the world, apart from Dumbo. How come I'm still alive, mate? I've had radiotherapy. How come I'm still alive? I've got a compromised immune system due to the fact that I've been blitzed. How come I'm still alive? For the last 2.5 years, I've been out. I'm still doing outreach with homeless people and hug them. I actually hug people that live on the streets. Now, if anybody's going to catch anything, it's going to be somebody that is living on the streets, not in the isolation of their little flipping stainless steel home.
I feel sorry. Do you know what I feel sorry for? I feel sorry for all those.
I feel sorry for everybody.
Over the last 2 years, were unable to go to their funerals, you know, because they're told you can't go.
Yeah.
What a joke. What a joke.
Absolutely.
And then you see what happened in Partygate. I don't want to dwell on that too much, but that was a complete contradiction of the rules.
Oh, absolutely. This is where Psalm 1 comes in.
Refresh my memory on that one, my friend.
Oh, I'll have to refresh my own memory, but it's let me bear with me. Actually, I've got my book here. Blessed. Oh gosh, where did I put it? I got it all. I use
See, talking about what's happened over the last 2 years, I was well familiar myself with SIDS, SIDS.
SID,
Southern Infant Death Syndrome.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Now it's turned to SADS. So what's the opposite of an infant? I've got to be careful what I say here.
It's an old folk, isn't it? An elderly. An old person.
Yeah. A for ADULT.
Adult.
Sudden that
adult
syndrome. And this is what's been happening.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Across the world. Across the world, my friend.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for that? Why is there a sudden peak? I'd never heard of that before. I've heard of infant cot deaths and all that. I've heard of that. That's what I call
cot death syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah,
they call it cot death syndrome. Yeah, that was a thing for a bit, and then they put it down.
All of a sudden, it's reversed. It's reversed now.
It was something actually that they didn't. They originally they reckoned it was like children, babies suffocating, didn't they? That's how it originally.
Lay your baby on the tummy and all that.
Psalm 1. This is NIV, Gideon's.
Okay.
This right. Bearing in mind, let's bear in mind Partygate with this, and the reason I like
to say about that, Rich. Before you say about what's in that Gideon Bible, yeah. I'm surprised there's still some pages left in there. Because I thought you were tearing them out for your roll-ups.
No. I go to Poundland. You can get like about 5 Everywhere's going digital now. Everywhere's going card only. Everywhere.
No, that's a prison thing. They were using the Gideon Bibles to do their roll-ups. Yeah,
the
pages from the Gideon Bible. Oh yeah, that's what I've been told.
Wow. Listen up. But this got to be my favourite, really, because it puts into context everything. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seats of mockers. Now in KJV it says sit in the seat of the scornful. And I said to my my Bible teacher, Derek, I said to him, oh no, it was Jesus Freak. I had an after live stream chat with Jesus Freak, Computer Geek David. And I said to him, listen, in my NIV it says mockers, and in the KJV it says scornful. And he said to me, listen, if you go back, they meant exactly the same. The word scornful ain't used. It's not a modern word. It's not a current word. Whereas mockers is, and people understand the word mockers. It's taking the piss. That's what mockers is. But scornful, to me, to scorn somebody is to like tell them off, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is in my mind. And he sort of put me straight up just to say, listen, they both mean pretty much the same. But for me, this one here, it says it, so I've read it, and it makes sense. What they did with this Partygate is they're taking the piss. They're mocking. They're saying, you locked up. You missed your wedding. You had to. I got a friend that had to waylay their wedding for 2 years. You haven't been able to visit your dying family in hospital. You haven't been able to go to the funeral. You haven't done it. We've seen how people have been treated at funerals. How little old ladies at windows. I've got one over here. Now she's not frail or anything. She's very active. I've gone through this before, but to see her at the window scared me. Not scared of me. Scared that she just swallowed all this fear porn about getting into contact with people, and that and my mum not coming down for months and for ages. That made it personal, despite the fact that I wasn't getting involved in it. I was still going out. I wasn't wearing a mask. I was still shaking and hugging hands. It didn't directly affect me that way, but what it did, it affected everybody else around me, which indirectly affected me. Which in retrospect, it did directly affect me because it made me. It made me very emotional, negativity, angry. I was flipping angry. A little bit. I wasn't depressed at the fact that I was. It made me.
Rich. Rich,
what?
Let me stop you there. We've got Just a Voice 5 come on.
Ooh.
He's come up with a message. You want company? Let's invite him.
No, Ron.
Yeah, come on, Ron.
Come on, from the other side of the pond.
Yeah, come on in, Ron. You're more than welcome.
Anyone else wants to come in as well? What's con winky dink? What's con winky dink?
I'm not sure what that means. But going back to what I was saying about SADS, yeah, I've just looked it up here, and this is very interesting, right? It says it stands for sudden arrhythmic death syndrome. This happens. Yeah, this happens when the heart stops beating unexpectedly, i.e., cardiac arrest, due to an abnormal rhythm, and generally happens to younger people who did not know they had a heart problem. Isn't that strange?
It's strange, but heart problems. Where on earth would people all of a sudden get a heart problem from?
Yeah. Well, what's a heart problem? Think of a blood clot, for example.
My tongue is in my cheek, Rob.
Yeah. Just a Voice 5. There is a link right at the top of the page. If you click on that, you will be able to join us. If you scroll right down to the top of the page, there's a link. You click on that, and I'll bring you in.
Ron, move over here, mate. All right. Well, actually, I'm quite happy to come in. They wouldn't let me in your country. They wouldn't let me in your country.
I've been to America, not recently. Yeah. I think the last time I was Florida. I went to Florida, and that was about friggin' hell, must be about 18 years ago.
Yeah,
I've been several times.
It's such an intriguing place, America. I think the thing I'm glad about is I watched this is about Australia. I watched a video with Steve Irwin. Remember Steve Irwin?
Yeah.
The crocodile fella. I watched a video of him and he was out chasing the 10 most deadliest snakes in the world, and they're all in Australia. And I think there's no way I'd even go on holiday to Australia.
No, and it's like spiders over there as well. They're the most deadly spiders.
Well, yeah, but snakes ain't my thing, and maybe there is a reason that snakes ain't my thing. You know, serpents and all that. Nah, they're fascinating things to look at, and they're just so beautiful. Yeah. The coloration on some of these snakes is absolutely awesome. But then you look at them and you think, you know, I think the Pope and things like that, you know, and lizard people and all that things. You know that despite the fact that they are so beautiful, they just swallow you whole, some of them. But then again, what I prefer are sparrows and blackbirds. And
I think I said this to you before, Rich, about snakes. You know, like going back to the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
When he cursed the serpent, God said, "Upon your belly you will dwell." So I'm thinking that at one time snakes probably had legs, because the curse that was put upon them was slither on their belly on the lowest of the lowest.
Well, that's an interesting point, because they do actually reckon that. I watched about 2 or 3 videos of snakes, and it was a Steve Irwin popped out, and I watched that, and then there was, but he's out there, he's chasing these flipping snakes. You know, one bite could kill 100 people, and I'm thinking, Steve, you're nutter. I wouldn't get near one. I wouldn't kill one unless it was, I don't know, unless it had, like, I'm from your government badge on it. Trust me. And it come bearing fruit. Here's your co-op delivery. Your co-op delivery serpent turns up with a bowl of fruit, and you say, "Oh, have a bite of that." No. This is what we promised. This is what we have to promise. We have to promise God.
I don't normally get angry, Richard, but I tell you what, mate. His attitude, because I've got an intercom system, we with a security door to let them in, and he refused point blank to come in. And when I went down and told him, he couldn't be more apologetic. So he said, I want your name because I'm going to report you.
What was his excuse?
What
was his excuse?
He said we've had problems where we've gone into buildings and we've been threatened and all that type of thing. I said, are you serious? I said, I've placed an order. Do you think I'm going to seriously threaten you if I've placed an order?
It's actually come up before, Rob. You're not the only person, but it's quite interesting that you actually, that I witnessed it, and nobody else witnessed it because you didn't switch the live on. But
yeah,
which was quite silly. But anyway, we'll let that go. You're forgiven. But I have heard that I think it was in America actually, where they don't go inside, so they don't go upstairs, they don't do things like that. There was somebody had put a thing on TikTok or something. I don't know what TikTok is, to be honest, but somebody had videoed it, and there's this girl sat in a car outside eating this. She was meant to be delivering this food, and she was sat in the car eating it because the person wouldn't come to the door, to the front door, like you had to go downstairs. But if they're getting threatened, it's up to the company to say, listen, I'm sorry, we can't go inside. We'll meet you at the front door. But we can't. That's up to the company, not the individual.
Well, the other excuse I've had in the past is that they come on these bikes, these electric bikes. Oh, I can't come in because my bike will get stolen. I said, well, bring your bike into the door. Once I've opened the security door, bring your bike in. It'll be safe. And they have done.
Yeah, that's some blazing for me.
Just the Voice 5 hasn't come in yet. I don't know if are you still listening. Just the Voice 5, because we would love you to join us. Do you think I should put the link back up again?
Yeah, sling the link down the bottom because sometimes it might, scrolling up to the top. Depends what people are. I don't, if people are on a phone and not, it might be difficult. Just pop it in there again. But let me finish this. This is our edge of the sword, Rob. About the last 2.5 years, is everything is alluding towards not being able to buy and sell unless you got the markets. And then we had people couldn't travel. Now I got a lot of friends that are Turkish, the Muslim, Turkish, Afghanistan, Iraq. I got a few friends. I got actually the guy that I get my tobacco off is from Iraq. They're lovely people, Muslims. Fair enough. We just get on. Just say, God, all right, I'll leave you to your bit. You leave me to my bit. But we get on, shake hands. And I forgot what I was on about now. But going back to this, Psalm 1. Oh, it's about. But these people, because they wanted to go home, okay, back to their country. They said, right, well, we had to have that. We had to have the vacation because we wanted a vacation. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to travel. We wouldn't be able to buy a ticket. Just say, listen, in my little book here, you cannot buy or sell. You can't buy a ticket. You can't buy a ticket. You cannot buy, or sell, and it's real. And all of a sudden, our sword, our edge of the sword, mate, is getting sharpened all the time with what they're doing. It's being sharpened right up to this great reset, and they're even coming out now, and saying, right, they're not hiding anything now. They're not hiding anything now. The BBC came out with Jimmy Savile to exactly what they were, and people have accepted that's the way they are. They haven't kicked back against the BBC and said, nah, stuff your license fee. They've accepted it. This is accepting the beast system. They haven't gone there. They haven't gone and ripped Rolf Harris out by the scruff of the neck and chopped his bollocks off. They haven't gone into Parliament with all these flipping dirty politicians, rip them out, take them out, and just kick them out in the street. Say, listen, we don't want people like you governing us, you dirty, dirty pedos, because that's what they are. They haven't taken the monarchy and said, listen, Prince Andrew, they haven't taken Bill Gates and said, listen, you were associated with Jeffrey Epstein, the same as Prince Andrew. And people are still saying, oh, the monarchy, oh, happy Jubilee. Did the Queen come out and say, listen, I don't know, she might have done, oh, I'm really, really sorry about Prince Andrew being involved with doing naughty things with children. Did she condemn him? No, she didn't. Exactly. Not to my knowledge, although I watch the television. I don't watch the BBC. But no, she didn't. And people are, this is how the beast system has just got a sail. It's sailing by. It's like, ooh, let's just, nobody's kicking back. And for those few that do kick back, like you, me, David, Ron, all these people that are kicking back, they shut us down. They shut us down. But I'll tell you what, they can't shut down. They can't shut me down on the streets. Can they? I'll tell you what, they can't shut down. They can't shut me down.
Sorry, mate. You might be hearing a bit of background noise because I'm trying to work out. I've just posted the link, for people to come in, and it's not showing on the on YouTube or on here to click on the link.
Click on the link. Tell me that you love me. Right, that's how the beast system has operated, Rob. We know it, and it's all become apparent now. But we've got it's in the book, mate. The word of God. All the answers are in there, and all those things that will wake people up. This was a gift from God. This old flipping virus thing to wake people up, to validate the holy book. The word of inspired word of God, to validate it, to get people to think, well, it's in that little book.
Yeah.
Can I buy or sell? Gradually, and over this last, getting on for 3 years, over this last 2.5 years, gradually, people, the number of people that are just saying, oh, well, yeah, it's coincidence. And I said, well, if you don't have a vacation, I've got a video taken down outside Springs for saying, well, there's going to come a time when you ain't going to be allowed in here unless you've had the vacation. And this was when it was mask on, stand up, mask off, sit down, mask on, up, down, mask on, off. And then they introduced, you could only buy a drink with the app, the Witherspoons app.
Yeah.
You can see it. You can see it. Everybody in the chat can see it. You can see it. I can see it. That gradually, we know what it is. It's like it's drip feed, isn't it? What they call it, the boiling frog syndrome. And it's so important now. YouTube is from my perspective, it serves its absolute purpose. To be honest, the only thing I would really miss is this interaction. And having the opportunity to meet other people that live miles and miles away. But for me, I thought
people living miles and miles away. Ron in the USA, he's just sent a text up.
Cannot get in.
Saying I can't get in. So, Ron, have you tried scrolling right down on all the chat, right to the top, where I've put the link to click on? Have you tried clicking on the link, or is that not working?
I don't know if you haven't invited me in as part of your team yet, Rob, have you?
I tried doing that earlier, but I didn't know what to do.
You got to, right. I know what I can do. In a minute, remind me. You do a screen share. You let me share my screen. You can, and then I'll run you through what I've actually done. Don't do it yet, though.
All right. Okay.
Because I don't think. Because what I can do is I can. I can post things like links in the chat. It's a bit like being a moderator, I think.
How are we going to get Just a Voice 5 in? He says he can't get in, but my link is right at the top of the page.
Yeah, but put it back in there. I just tried it. My links don't come up because I've got no authority on your channel.
Right. How do I give you authority? Talk me through it.
You can't do it now, Rob. It means you've got to send me an email. I'll show you it in a minute, and then you can do it later on, ready for the next one. It's no big deal now. But if I don't know what you can see. I just sent you a private chat message with the link in it. All we've got to do is copy that and then post it in the comments, because you're the only one at the moment that can post links.
Right. Okay. Private chat. Click on that. Just bear with me.
Copy it.
Right. So I highlight that, yeah?
Click on my link and tell me that you love me. Oh, Ron. Yes, Ron. We always want company. Oh, honestly, mate, I'd love to live around the corner from you. I honestly would. And I'd love you to live here. me on my own. Me, myself, and I. Yeah, this is the most important thing that God has given us. It's called the Great Reset. Nobody knows about it. The mainstream ain't talking about it. The government ain't talking about it. BBC aren't talking about it. It's not splashed all over the front page of the newspapers. Nobody knows about the Great Reset. When we let them know the Great Reset, and what is their mantra? You will own nothing and you will be happy. There's only one way you won't be happy: if somebody takes away your possessions, and that is if they take away something in your mind that takes away emotion. What else is there? You won't feel angry because somebody's come and taken your house away from you. No, why don't I feel angry? I don't know, they just overdosed me on Prozac, so I got no emotion. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. What did they do at the end? I watched this about a month ago. At the end of what's coming in, at the end of the movie, the only way they could stop him, Jack Nicholson, was to do a lobotomy. They took away something out of his brain that made him into a cabbage that had no emotion, a dribbling wreck. That movie, again, it appeared at the right time. I watched it years and years and years and years and years ago. And now the relevance of how to pacify anger and how to pacify emotion. They do it with fluoride, things like that. That kind of lowers, but people still retain that anger. When somebody comes and takes your child away, what are you going to do? That's the crux of it, because that's what they're doing. That's what they're going to do. They're going to own your children. And I said this today. And this is another part of my spiel, is about patented. Now, the old special, I don't know, what the old thing, right? You know the thing, the old boogie bug, Ron. That is patented, okay? Now, I explain this to people. If I went out, and I did this in Nationwide Bank today, I was chatting with this young woman. I said, right, if I went out there and I hoiked an oak tree out of the ground and I brought it into the patent office and said, I want to patent this, they say, no, you can't do that because that's a natural product. That is made by God. And if I went outside and I got a sycamore tree and I rooted it up and I plonked it on the desk and I said, I want to patent this sycamore tree, and they say, no, you can't. That is made by God. That is a natural product. However, if I went in with a combination of a genetically combined oak sycamore tree called a sick oak or oakamore, and I went in the patent office and I said, here you go, bang, what about that? Sick oak. And they say, you can patent that because God didn't make that. You made it. You genetically modified the organics, the DNA of that product. The same they do with roses. They do it with hybrid vegetables. Anything that's got F1 on it is a hybrid. That means it's got a patent, like a Monsanto seed. It's got a patent because they've F'd around F1. That's what F stands for. I just made that up. It might be true. I just thought of that. That's quite funny. That's God. That God telling us, listen. And this is what I say. You at the moment, to this lady, this woman, I said, look, you of God's pure creation will assume, okay, you cannot be patented, which means you cannot be owned. You are your own sovereign entity. You belong to God. However, when they come in and do this CRISPR technology, or they splice a bit of your DNA out, or they replace a bit of this, or they even change the frequency of you, so you are no longer God's pure creation. You are then the result of somebody else's experiment or procedure that has a patent attached to it. So you then become owned. You're a human being that isn't God's pure creation. You're a hybrid, like you know, like the old fallen angels mixing with women, producing the Nephilim. Do you need a Nephilim banner, Rob?
No. Oh yeah, we'll put it up. Well, I don't think that'll create a banner. I don't think that'll create a banner actually.
Well, if you put it in the title, what's the biblical Nephilim?
Well, giants, isn't it?
Yeah, there were giants on the earth in those days. Yeah, but what was the crossbreed between fallen angels and man, woman? It's not happening. Keeps telling that my browser is not allowing Cam and Mike to work. Oh, that's a big shame.
It is.
My browser is playing up like a bad one. It really is. It's hopping around all over the place. I got a feeling that I know we're under attack now. You, Rob, me, you're under attack anyway because you had a few strikes. I'm under attack just because I am. Ron's under attack because he is. Because
Ron.
Ron, you're the best, mate. Honestly, you're spot on.
Ron, we love you. We love your work.
Hopefully, if I get out there, we'll meet out there in peace. But honestly, mate, you got keep doing it, mate. You're spot on that. And Mars trash one. Honestly, Ron, that Mars trash video, which you're laughing, that literally lifted my spirits because, you know, it's a joke, isn't it? And to take it as a literal joke, it is. That lifted it was totally blew me away. I was going to say out of this world, yeah, but yeah.
I'll just make a suggestion to Ron about just a voice 5. Ron, try a different browser. If you've got able to get a different browser, try a different browser and try that. YouTube doesn't like me. Doesn't like many of us.
Yeah, JTube. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Pardon me. But anyway, this is the thing about YouTube. They need us. We don't need them anymore. Yeah. I'm gonna go out on the street Saturday. They can't shut me up. The police. I say that. I told you, Rob. 16 coppers up behind my allotment. The recreation ground up behind my allotment. 16 coppers turned up because somebody was riding around on a motor scooter. Okay, 16 coppers. Now all I'm guessing is they were going to try and corral this. That's why there were so many. 16 coppers. They don't even send one for burglary. 16. Anyway, I siphoned one off. I told you this yesterday. I siphoned one off, and I said to him, "Have you heard of the Great Reset?" And he said, "No, coppers don't know about the Great Reset, Rob. We got one win. They got we both of us have got, not you and me, them and us. We got one window of opportunity. We need the police on our side because they're hiding behind the police. Who lives with the most fear on this earth? Is it you? Is it me? Is it Ron? Is it Bill Gates? Is it Bezos? Or is it the other purveyors of bullshit? They live in perpetual fear of so many things. Firstly, they got a lot of money. They are money. What happens if they lose their money? Money just buys them friends at the end of the day. What happens if they become penniless? They lose all their associated friends. Because once you're a potless piece of nothing, you ain't of no use to anybody. That's one aspect of them. The second thing is people know what they're doing. So the likes of Bill Gates, you can't walk down the street doing some local shopping, saying hello, I'm just I'm going down to Greengrocers, get some spuds. How are you doing? Yeah, no, he'd be oiked up. He would. But not by me. I'd just say, listen, lock yourself away, mate. Shut up. But he would be hung, drawn, and quartered, that man. There's so many of them. No, don't trust any cop. This is the thing, though, Ron. They've been lied to, because not 1 out of 16 had heard the Great Reset. And I explained to this, I wrote it down, the Great Reset, the fourth industrial revolution. You will own nothing and you will be happy. I say, I've got children. Yeah, I've got children. They will own nothing. You've got life insurance. Why have you got life insurance? Oh, it's to look after my children. They'll take that away. They'll take that away. They'll take your children away. It doesn't matter whether you're a copper or not. You're one of us. And all it takes is for the police to know that what they're doing. They're the wall between us and the elite, the cockroaches.
Sadly, Richard, sadly, my friend, I think the majority of the police force will side with the government. That's the sad thing. There'll be a few. There'll be a few that.
No, Robert, I'm telling you, you're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong. I chat with so many coppers. I chat with so many people. I'm not scared of a copper because I'm not going to break any law. And it's like I mentioned about there were 4 coppers stood outside Waterstones, okay, a few weeks ago. Two were proper coppers, Viz jackets, and 2 were the PCSOs, okay, police community support officers. They're not fully fledged coppers. They cannot arrest. So anyway, I gone up. I'm walking by. I said, "Oh, hello, gents." Have I told you this?
No, I don't think so.
Bags. What's a bag? Rob.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
So there's 4 coppers. 2 real ones, 2 PCSOs, police community support officers. There was a van there. So anyway, and it's in a lay-by outside Waterstone. So I walked out. I said, "Hello, gents," to the 2 proper police officers, okay? Oh, they come back. That's a mafia bag. I'll tell the story briefly, okay? I know the police, you aren't to be feared. They don't know. If you see a copper, Ron, or Sky Earth Tunes, hello, my friend, Paul. Thumbs up for the stream. Oh, God bless you, my friend. Got to come on, mate. Share your soul with us all at some point, please. Spread the love, mate.
Going back to what I was saying, Rich, though, like about the coppers. Looking back at over the 2 years during the C19 period, in all the what we call people that were standing up for their rights, they were hoarding even elderly people into the fucking back of police vans.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
That was a long time ago.
And that was the majority. There was only a few. That stood back and said, "No, this is wrong."
But a few stood back, Rob. Now,
a few did.
This is let me say this a minute. So there's these 4 coppers, okay, 2 proper ones, 2 PCSOs, and I walked by and I stood there and I said, "Hello, gents, how you doing?" All right, and I said, "Oh, I hope I didn't offend anybody by using the word gents. I don't want to be accused of any gender identification issues." Okay, so this PCSO, they're not proper coppers for anybody that don't know what they are. They're support officers for the police, but they haven't got the powers to arrest. Okay, amongst a lot of other things, they're support officers. So anyway, this giant guy, he must have been about 6.5 foot tall. Well, he's giant to me. I'm 5'11", 5'10", something like that. He stood in between. He sidled up in between me and these other two coppers. He said, "Oh, I'd be careful what you say, my friend." "Oh, sir." No, he called me sir. He said, "I'll be careful what you say, sir." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm just checking that people aren't offended by the fact that I'm using gender terminology, like gents." "Oh, I think you better go away," he said. I said, "No, I'm having a chat with these blokes here." Which I was. I would address them. I didn't address this bloke. And I said, "Here's the thing. You by calling me sir," I said, "you're causing me an offence." I said, "It ain't because of gender." Eh? Exactly that. Exactly that, Rob. I said Jimmy Savile was a sir, and that's why I take offence at being called a sir. I don't want to be put in the same bag as him. So, and then I say, I'm just a man. I'm a sovereign entity. God created me as a man. He didn't create me as a mister. But anyway, so this lanky guy, big bloke, stood there. So anyway, I just looked right by him to these other two coppers, and there was one, the proper copper, but he was young. He must have been, I don't know, 21-ish, 22, a young one and an older one. And I said to this younger guy, they were waiting for a lift. They borrowed this van, this riot van, because it was Jubilee celebrations in a town. It's about 10 miles away, Wellington. And they borrowed the van. They were from Wellington. They were Wellington police, but they borrowed a van from Taunton police, and they were returning it. And then they were waiting for a lift. So I said to these two proper coppers, I said, "Oh," and the younger one, I said, "Hey, have you heard of the Great Reset?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Me normal spiel. Have you heard of the fourth industrial revolution?" "No." "Have you heard of this? Have you heard of that? Have you heard of the digital wallet?" "No." They have none of them heard of it. And then when they left, they got picked up. The cop car turned out to pick them up and took them home. And then these other two coppers, got in the van. And I followed the other cop around to the other side. They totally blanked me. They totally ignored me. Like I wasn't there. And that was it. But my work is done. I discovered that the coppers don't know about it. Now, this young guy in his 20s, quite probably, I can't remember where I wrote it down, but I write things down. He's a copper. He should have good memory, shouldn't he? But he's going to go home. He's going to type in the Great Reset. You will own nothing and you will be happy. What the flipping heck does that mean? Rob, we got hope, my friend. You go out with Brian. You and Brian go out, think, right, let's just go out with a sign. You will own nothing. You will be happy. The Great Reset. It's all we got, Rob. This is the sharpest bit of steel that we've got. Is opening people's eyes, not on this flipping platform. The platform is on the streets, like the good old days. Yeah, you got to live in hope, mate. Paul. They don't know about it. What, would they have really stood? Would all these low-level coppers have stood by and let Jimmy Savile get away with it if it was up to them? Now people
half of them were on there. Half of them were on there, I think.
Here's the thing.
He had some very high.
Rob, I know a lot of coppers. I've met these Gestapo ones. I've met them. I've been on the sharp end of these ones that are in it because they're just psychopaths. But it's an occasional one. It's like people are scared because they think, oh, I'm the only one in this group. I'm the only one in this classroom of 30 kids that don't agree with. This is how people think. Oh, if I tackled the bully of the classroom, it would only be me. Whereas if all 30 kids stood up and said, "Listen, bully, just go away, mate," or come in and be part of us, these coppers are isolated. They're all scared. It's like, you know, they're all scared to be men, proper men. And a proper man is simple. They defend children. That's all they do. Proper man defends the family, defends the children from crime. You know, but this is the thing about YouTube. YouTube need you. They need me. As soon as my channel's going, I'm just going to think, do you know what? Firstly, I've learned enough. If my channel disappeared, I would be pleasant in the mind to think, you know what? I'm not guiding any more people to YouTube, because then there might be somebody that specifically comes to YouTube. No, all right, then live in God. I live in God, mate, and God has put it on my heart to have a chat with coppers, and God has let it be known to me that those that wield the powerful stick, i.e. the truncheon, we got hope. That's the last hope we got, is that those that defend the injustice, that's the coppers and the military. The military are cool. Well, the military are quite easy to get to see, because I know a lot of homeless vets. I know a lot of veterans that have been neglected with mental disorders. So they're sort of like toilet paper, really, with all due respect to them, thinking that they're doing an honourable thing. But the way the government treat them and the way they're trapped by the system is, we use you and then we flush you down the bog. We don't give a shit about you living on the street. I know people. I got friends that are ex-military, just cannon fodder military, that are used and then forgotten about. I know it. So it's not a difficult scenario for people to get people to understand that it is a real life exercise, that they don't give a shit about the military. The police force, on the other hand, are the same. All it takes is one to step out of line.
Yeah.
And then say, listen, you know what they're going to do? They're going to take your children away, mate. They're going to take away your house. They're going to take away your car.
If you don't do this, if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen.
They're going to take away your powers to think for yourself. They're going to take away for you to have freedom of expression.
Yeah.
They're human beings. Coppers are human beings.
Yeah.
And they're the same as you.
Excuse me 1 moment. You have to carry on. I need to nature calls.
Yeah. But I don't mean I'm not Paul, I'm not trying to what am I not trying to do? I'm not trying to undermine your experience, because I've had bad experience. I've been beaten up by the old Bill more times than I can remember. I've had 2 coppers lie under oath when I was doing my due diligence in what. That's not the bees. I'm just doing that. I've had 2 coppers lie under oath that pretty much shocked me, really. But I know they were getting their orders from high on because of the subject matter that I was raising. Dave Fournier Dialby was murdered or died in police custody. Now, I did a live stream a little while back, and there was some knob end troll that raised my name and said, oh, you were in trouble with the police. You went to court. Yeah, it was because I would be doing my due diligence in observing the police when they were arresting somebody. And as soon as I raised Dave Fournier Dialby, they shut me down. They didn't only shut me down, they put the police against me. So the police lied under oath. And I don't know what Bible they used in court. I don't know what I don't know what the wording is in the Bible. I don't know whether it's a full Bible. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. But you know, this is the thing. Everybody has a different. I've been beaten up in my life by the police. I had 2 ribs broken trying to stop the fight. between the police and some guy that was going to murder a copper. And the copper behind me threw me. And oddly enough, I got a crucifix, and I'll show you this. I got it up here. Yes. Right. See this? This isn't symbolic of anything really, apart from the fact it was given to me when my granddad died, and I went to a church, and the vicar, reverend, whatever he was, he sat and listened to me. He mopped up my tears, and he gave me this. And this to me was you know what it is, a symbol of suffering. Okay. Now I carry this all the time with me in my pocket. It's a big one. This. That's about 4 inches up. Okay. Now see the arm there. I had this in my pocket up here, and when this copper threw me to the ground, that went in my ribs, and Jesus's arm snapped, and I broke 2 ribs. I don't know whether that was a sign or not, or anything. Don't carry the crucifix, Rich. But that was a comfort to me. It was always with me. That. Now I keep it at home just because his arm's broken. But the coppers did that. They broke this arm that snapped on my ribs, and I was in agony for like, I don't know, 6 months. Couldn't do anything. But yeah, I'm not sure of the symbology of this or anything like that. But you know, people that say, "Oh, crucifixes are celebrating this and that," and I said, no. It just reminds me that Jesus Christ was crucified, and how fucking cruel is that? And it's still going on today. People are still being crucified. So I'm not worshipping the crucifixion. I'm just saying this was given to me by somebody that mops up my tears in my time of need. So it is very, very precious to me. I'm not idolizing it or anything. It's a reminder. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to solder his arm back on, and then I'm going to release the rivets. There's 3 rivets. So I'm going to release him from his cross when I get around to it. This was happened years ago. It's been like this for years. But that suffering, that. Can you imagine it, Rob? Honestly, the things that people are subject, you know, like people skinned alive. Is like, you imagine it. Honestly, this is what we're up against. This is what we're up against. We're up against pure fucking evil.
Yeah.
What we've gone through up to now is nothing, particularly in this country. We got away lightly in this country. I can't believe it.
Oh my word.
I'll tell you, even through the lockdown, I was going out, I was chatting with, I met a copper right early on as well. And he was on one side of his car, and I was on the other side. I was on the roof like this, and he was on the other roof. And I said to him, I said, "Oh, do you read the Bible?" This is a copper, a young copper. I can't remember his name. But I said, so we're having a chat. And this was in lockdown. You're only allowed out if you're going for exercise. So I'm out for a walk, please. But there's no, you know, no mask, no this, no that. But anyway, I said, "Oh, do you read the Bible?" He said, "I used to." And then I brought up Revelation 13, 16 to 18. This is God's gift. He gave me. I'm new to the Bible. I'm very, very new to actually being deeply involved with the Word of God. I'm very new to it. Taking it as serious as I do now, as serious as I possibly can, because I realise the importance of it, and I realise that every answer we need, God has given us a way to fight everything that these fucking evil ones are throwing at us. And even something as simple as saying, but I said to this copper, listen, you cannot buy or sell. And I was saying, I know the mask ain't the mark, but it's step by step by step by step. There will come a time when we knew about technology being part of that system, your miry clay and your iron. Your clay is you and me from the earth, and your iron is your technology. Forbidden knowledge, but your iron is your technology. When you combine the two, and I've said to him, and I said this to him, you know, like 2.5 years ago. So even though he might, that it might not have clicked then, it's in his head, germinating. You know, and you can put a seed, you can put a seed in the freezer and it won't germinate. You can bring it out after 10 years. They do it. They got a seed bank, haven't they? The World Seed Bank somewhere in I don't know, Scandinavia or something like that, Norway. They got the World Seed Bank. Every single seed known to man is in this seed bank, and they keep them. Now they are changing my words.
Very interesting, isn't it? I think they've got a mark on him. They've got a mark on him, I think.
Oh,
Rich, Rich, I was watching GB News today, because I do look at the news now and again just to see what false media are saying, yeah? And it said that there's a first, and this could be the start of a big fucking claim. Somebody has actually won £120,000 compensation because of the C-19 vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's paying that though?
£120,000.
Where's that coming from?
Compensation.
Yeah, where's that coming from? Where's that
money
coming
from?
I don't know where it's
coming from.
Is it coming from
any news today?
Okay. Is it coming from the specially protected production companies? You know, those that actually produce these.
It was a couple. A man and a woman.
Yeah.
And her husband died. They were like part of a music. They're into music. They formed a band or whatever. I can't remember the name of the band. But because when he took the vacation, everything went downhill and he died.
Yeah.
And it took all this time to get the compensation, but they've actually been given £120,000 compensation. Yeah. So this could be a turning point. I don't know. Yeah. But it might be false news.
120 grand. Well, that'll bring him back to life, won't it? Hey?
Yeah, it's not a lot. Well, she said herself it's not a lot, but it's a step in the right direction.
No amount of money will ever make up for what they've done.
No.
No amount of money will ever make up for it. No amount of money you can pay.
I wish we could get wrong on here. I can't believe. It's so unfair. You can't get wrong.
Try your number 4 channel, Just a Voice 4. I got unsubscribed from that. I missed so much.
Yeah.
No amount of money, Rob. No amount of money you can pay can undo what they've done. No amount of money. No amount of money. No amount of money can do. The only thing that can happen is God comes down and says, "Listen."
Are you drinking through a straw, Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get pissed quicker.
I drink it. It's a stainless steel one. It's only I just find it easier drinking out of a straw. I don't drink it for that. It's just I like drinking out of a straw because I'm still a baby. I'm still a child in the eyes of God.
Thanks, Sky Off Tunes, for joining us. Appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. Please don't give up hope. God is working hard. I tell you, He's working hard. He's putting all these things my way anyway. Honestly, the coppers, come here, have a chat. When I go out Saturday, if I get a copper come out to me, I'll have them. I'll say, listen, what are you gonna do? You can't. This is a public place. I know my rights. I've gone out with my common law rights. I know that. This is a public place. I'm not even speaking. So I can't be being offensive to anybody. I'm not promoting lies because a great reset is a real thing. That's why I'm here.
You're not a terrorist either, are you?
I'm not a terrorist. YouTube is fucking hopeless. They ain't, you know, they call it artificial intelligence. Well, to have the word intelligence in YouTube, it ain't right, because those that they drive away, they all of a sudden will get their moment in the public. My 15 minutes of fame, I want it to be out in the streets with me banners saying the Great Reset. There's Richard, there's your 15 minutes of fame, have it. And I'll just say, well, I'll take that as my 15 minutes of fame. It's not for my own benefit, nothing to do for my benefit, apart from the fact that I will feel that I'm sharing truth, nothing more than that. And then everything else, all these things like chemtrails and fluoride in your water and all the bullshit on the television and predictive programming and Soylent Green and all these other things. If so, you get somebody, it's like the encyclopedia. I mean, they stick a banner under there, Encyclopedia Britannica now. They done away with Wikipedia. But if you get the Encyclopedia of Absolute Truth, you know, just direct people to Davey Yates, Amazon. There you go. Go and have a look at that. Have a look. The Amazon book, the book about the Encyclopedia of Absolute Truth. I can do it on the streets. I do it out in this, just outside my front door here. Anybody that comes by, anybody that comes in my door, knocks on my door, anybody I chat with on the phone, if I'm phoning up Vodafone to complain about something, I will have a chat. And I've been on this phone for like over an hour talking with Vodafone.
Can I give you the co-op hotline?
Eh?
Can I give you the co-op hotline?
Bring him down here.
I'll give you the co-op hotline, yeah? You can complain for me.
Honestly, now is the time to just be voiceful. YouTube they've had their use. I've had my use out of YouTube. This, all right, I'm happy with this. This is a good thing. But YouTube went from being the pinnacle of video platforms to being the absolute lowest of the low, lower than the lowest of the low as whale shit. They've gone from being the highest to the lowest. They've done it. They've done it. Yeah. They've lost all credibility.
A suggestion for Just a Voice, if he's still on there, I'm hopefully he's still watching. Just a Voice 5.
Oh, he's back. Just a Voice 4 is back on.
Yeah, Just a Voice 5 or Just a Voice 4. If you're still watching, maybe if you can go onto StreamYard, set up an account with StreamYard, if you haven't already, and then we can come onto your stream. We'll try doing it that way.
Ron, I did a video a while back, and it was about setting up. It was just like a brief sort of introduction to StreamYard, what to do, just because it's you know, it's like the last bastion of communication that we've got, really, except going out in the streets. But to find out what's happening, how you know, voice to voice, you can't beat voice to voice, face to face.
Can I just what I want to do? I want to do an experiment here, because Just a Voice 5, we said he can't get on. There's currently 4 people still watching live. Could any one of those 4 people join the chat and see if you can log in, come in? Just scroll to the top of the page. Where are we? Hang on, bear with me. Right where the top where it says StreamYard Live Viewer, just below Richard the Stonemason, not Freemason, he says, "Oi, that's the link. Could you please just click on that link and come in, just to test to see if we can get other people in, and see if it's just a Voice 5."
Yeah, see if it's just Ron that's being targeted. Yeah. Oh, Ron, listen up, please. Now, can you remember? I was on about Rob today. It's about Rob yesterday, because I think you might be able to enlighten us a little bit more as having a freeway conversation. And it's about, can you remember when that airplane crashed into I think it was the Hudson River. Okay, so the airplane ditched, didn't it, in the river? Now, if I am, we were only chatting about it last night, Rob, weren't we? So I haven't really had a chance to look into it. But I think it took off and then crashed. Okay. Now, if it had only just oh yeah, I just read Paul's. Boy, what have you been doing? Let me finish this a minute, Ron. So this plane took off fully laden because it was going on a flight. There's Deborah Roll there. Hello, Deborah. It had taken off. So let's assume then the wings were full up with fuel. Okay. Now, when it crashed, they obviously opened the doors to let the people out onto the wings. Okay. So the fuselage, the tube bit, wasn't going to be something that was keeping it buoyant. Okay. It would have been the wings were actually keeping this, because it was, from memory, they were all stood on the wings and the wings were resting on the water. Okay. Now, I might be wrong, but if the wings were filled with fuel, how would they float if the wings were full of fuel? If they were empty, you can. The explanation is there. What you've got is you've got something that is lighter than water. That is, it's like a boat, isn't it? But if the wings are filled with fuel, would they be heavier than water? And would the plane actually sink? It's like if you've got a boat and you put a hole in it and all the water got in, it was filled up, or you were at a cargo of I don't know. Let's say you had a cargo of cider, okay? And the whole hull was filled up with cider, sloshing around, right up to the waterline outside. Would that boat still float? No, wouldn't it? It would sink. The same with the plane wings. I said yesterday, Rob, didn't I? I said Ron might be able to put it in his little process of debunking plane fuel. Oh, I thought there'd be a scientist in the room.
Right. Richard, what did I say to you the other day? I said the fuel is purely for takeoff and landing, nothing else. I said that to you, didn't I?
Well, they put in how much fuel does it take to take off? Then they got about Ron reckons there's like a swimming pool amount. There's about 3 tankers full. But where do they keep all the fuel?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just intrigued as to how that plane managed to stay afloat. And here's the thing: this is what you say. What you've got actually is turbines. I said this yesterday, Rob. The turbines are electric, like a fan. All you need is something to generate. All you need is something to generate electricity to run the turbine, which is like a tiny little generator. So
Tesla was murdered, mate. Tesla. You know Tesla, him that did all them experiments, he was done away with because he knew a lot more than what they wanted people to know.
Yeah.
I believe Tesla was murdered.
Oh, yeah. It was run 33 somewhere, wasn't it? On I think I could put it in a video actually about Nikola Tesla. Or yeah, because he stayed in a hotel. He used to stay in a hotel, didn't he? Yeah, there's something.
That. I mean, when I went to America, right, about 18 years ago, it was must have been a 7.5, 8.5 hour flight on supposedly fuel that was stored in the wings. You know?
What fuel? Yeah.
I think they're hiding something here, big style. They're hiding something from us, big style.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And the chemical composition of what comes out of those engines is drastically changed from when I was a child, without a doubt. All this global engineering, globally engineered.
Well, like the 1800s, mate. We had the technology that we have been silenced. The new generation, what I call the new generation, our generation and the generation before us, have been silenced in the sense that they had the technology then to have free energy, and the ability to transport people from one continent to another very cheaply. It's been hidden, and it's all to do with the money. You know, the money.
Yeah, money makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Does it? That is.
Awakening for 300 ages is enough.
Yeah, here's another thing. Here's a thing. Money makes the world go round. That is alluding to to that flipping globe again, isn't it? So they've killed two birds with one stone there. Firstly, they've introduced the importance of money, which money has no intrinsic value whatsoever. As I've recently legally understood it, is a promissory note. It's a promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £10, whatever it might be. It's a promissory note. It's not actually. It's like an IOU. It's not really a thing. It's like, you know, here you go, IOU. So I could go down to, I don't know, Tesco's and say, all right, £100 worth of food, please. And I could just write on the back of this bit of paper, IOU, here you go, have that. It's a promissory note. I promise to pay you. I promise to pay the bearer of this bit of paper the sum of £100. That's a promissory note. That's what it got on the $5 and the £10 bill. And I'll tell you what I found today, Rob. I went into a charity shop, Cry, I think it was. They got a £20 note, a modern £20 note in there, in the cabinet. The number was CM CM16. No, it was something like the first four digits was CM, which is C3, M is 13, 1 and 6. But the next 6 numbers were 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. That £20 note, the app was sale. This is in a charity shop with 40 quid. The guy said, I'll let you out at 35. I said, listen, it's got 20 quid on it. I ain't paying more than 20 quid for it. But I told him, I said, you want to get that online? 333 333. And this is a guy, I've known this guy for a long time, and he's a Christian. He's a born again Christian, this guy. And he's put me in touch with a few people. But he's been part of my little Christian journey. And but I said to him, oh, you got the 666 and you've got the 999s, and then I went and I walked out and I've gone back and I said, right, C, you got C is 3, and then you got the M, which is 13, and then the 16. So, and then I left. I didn't dwell on it. I just sort of like, ooh, let's throw that in back to him. I should have got a photograph of it. But yeah, but 333 333 for 40 quid, a £20 note for 40 quid. Paul Fisher.
Listen, I'm going to have to cut this short, I'm afraid, because I've got to get off.
Oh.
Yeah, I am sorry. I would like to thank all the subscribers and all those that have joined on the chat. A big thank you. And it's a shame that Just a Voice 5 couldn't join us tonight, because it would have been lovely to have him on. Hopefully, next time we can sort that out.
Lovely, Ron. Hang in there, Ron, my friend. Hang in there. Don't let them get in there too much, please. Yeah. The streets is a place. You do. I've seen your videos. They cut me off. I've seen you. You're an inspiration for me. You are. So don't let anybody get under your skin, mate. Just keep going.
Absolutely.
We're doing it, God.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing.
I do run. I do run.
Yeah, mate. But please, please, just hang in there. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all right here. You know, people. I don't know. I got a thing in there, Ron, my friend. God bless you. Honestly, you know, we're all here to share a little bit of ourselves and how to do things. But you know, the internet, YouTube, it's done its purpose. We've learned what we need to know. We've learned that all the bullshit exists. They've let there's nothing now. The church has exposed itself as being satanic in here, Church of England. Then the agenda is now out there, the Great Reset. There's nothing more to add. They've come out with this biology and technology mix. It's all there. There's nothing more to expose. We know, you know.
AI. They want everybody AI.
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't need YouTube anymore. We don't need them. There's surplus to requirements now, apart from things like this. This is all they're really good for now, is communicating with friends. Yeah. But there's going to come a point when, hopefully, we'll all be in the same place anyway. You know, but the thing to do now is to come out of Satan's fucking backyard and go out on it in the streets. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. They've done it. Everything has been made apparent, and what we need to do is be fishers of men and fishers of people and fishers of children. Just to wake the populace up. Wake the people. Wake real people up. Fuck these trolls. You ain't gonna get a troll come up to you and try and delete you, report you to the authorities, because you ain't gonna do anything illegal. That's just the way to. And here's a bit of advice: if you're gonna go out on the streets, whatever you're doing, touting truth, touting the word of God, whatever you're doing, don't smell of alcohol. Don't have a drink beforehand, because if they want to shut you, if you come up against a copper, there's a bit of a knob end, they can hoik you in for just smelling of alcohol. So if you go out, you've got to go out in whole sobriety. There's a message from God.
You then, Richard.
Oh, I'm happy, Rob. It's only you. As I said to you, it's only you that has enticed me into. I thought I was joining you. This is nice, this. It's called Poor Man's Velvet, okay?
Hey, listen.
Hold it. Hold it.
Yeah.
Velvet. Put the cider in first.
Yeah.
In a glass. Half a pint of cider. Then top it up with the Guinness. Because if you do it the other way around, it pops up too much. But, you know, if you have trouble sleeping, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I can do without it. This is what I've learned through my experience, is if you come against the enemy, and that is a copper, this is a psychopath, they got orders to get you out of the way. They need something to get you out of the way for. Now, smelling of alcohol, you don't have to be pissed, you don't have to be drunk, you don't have to be disorderly. Just smelling of it. If they smell it on you, they can hoik you in. So this is where we have to go out in pure sobriety, and we go out with God and just see what happens, really. But we're at that time now when we have to go out. All this YouTube stuff. How many people get to see my videos here? You know, like half a dozen or a dozen, or you know, over time there might be 20 or 30. But there's no feedback. There's no direct feedback to say, oh yeah. You can't see emotions from people. You can't have skin contact with people. Skin contact is so crucial. Shake of a hand, a hug. It's one of the crucial elements of connecting our dots that we know, the dots of truth, and then getting a bit of that, introduce a bit of that. Oh, well, it does say that in there. Cannot buy or sell. What are you going to do when they come to you and say, did you have the jab? Yeah, I had that. I had to. What about when they say to you, you can have to have technology in your body? What are you going to say then? Oh, no, I ain't having any of that. I said, well, you had the jab. You said, oh, I ain't having any of that. It's going to be a tough time. It's going to be a tough time for a lot of people to resist. So getting people to know that that they're not alone. They're not alone in this fight, and they're not alone in this fight. There is a community of people. That's what I do. I'm making a community of like-minded people. I know you, Rob. You know, I know a load of other people that are all the same mindset. And if the shit hits a fan, I don't care if the Gestapo come at me, or I'll just say, listen, fuck off, please. Or come in, sit down, have a cup of tea, and I'll tell you all.
I'll be coming straight to your allotment.
Come straight down here first, Rob. You come straight down here. But, this is the thing. This is the time we're in now. We have to go out. We have to go out on the street, because YouTube is just a television. You know, it's an entertainment thing. All right, the entertainment might be sharing truth and things like that, but at the end of the day, their whole agenda has been about breaking down communication between people, shutting down isolation, shutting down libraries, shutting down in these little village post offices, getting everybody shopping online, shutting down these little shops, shutting down the pubs, shutting down community centres, shutting down youth clubs, giving people incentives to shop online, like, oh, shop online and you can get 20% off, or shop online and you get an extra 1,000 club card points, or shop online and you get this benefit. Shop online and we'll deliver it to your front door 4 steps up.
Kill the retail.
Well, it's not just about retail, Rob. It's what retail is, and retail is a communication. It's a bartering between you and me that needs. And what's our good old-fashioned bartering? Hello, shake your hand. We'll do a deal. Gentleman's handshake. We'll do a deal. People used to shake hands to seal the deal. Now what do? Ooh, I'll shake that. Yeah. There you go. Shake that in front of this scanner. That's the deal. Everybody can see it. What they've done is they have pushed people into isolation.
Yeah.
And, you know, technology. There you go. Your best friends. Make yourself a virtual best friend. You know, Facebook. All right. They might live next door, but you do more. You know, I got family to do this. They communicate more on that than they do in real life. It's an agenda to split up the energy that can happen between two people. And we got an energy here, Rob, because we're communicating, and we've got that known love anyway, and that voiced love that is believable. You know, you don't think I'm talking bullshit there when I say, Rob, I absolutely adore you. You know, I'm not talking bullshit. I'm not like that. You know, people can tell if I'm being a bullshitter, because apparently you look to your right side. Your right side is your creative side. Your left side is your memory side. So if you're having a chat, this is back to front here. If you're having a chat with somebody and you want to find out if they're telling the truth from memory, they look to the left, because that's your memory side, your left.
Yeah.
And if they're looking to the right, like they gaze up because they're thinking to the right, that means they're trying to make something up out of their creative side. And to be a liar, you need a good memory to be a good liar, because you need to remember the lie. Whereas if you're telling the truth, all you've got to do is remember an actual experience. So, you know, we ain't gonna lose, Rob. We ain't gonna lose.
Right. Well, my battery reminder has come up. It's going to go off any second. So, Richard, thank you for joining me tonight.
God bless you, my
friend.
I appreciate
your feedback and your comments, and all those that have commented tonight. Thank you very much.
Oh, Rob.
And my apologies go out to Just the Voice 5 in particular, because I really wanted him to join us tonight. Rob, I really wanted him to join us.
Rob, can you put Paul Fisher's comment up a minute? I've noticed more and more cash machines going. Can you just put that up just for a couple of minutes?
Earlier, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that because I was trying to differentiate between left and right. What it looks like now, I'm looking right, so I'm making something up. Now I'm looking left, so this is the truth.
Well, if this goes on, it's not me that's done it. It's because the battery's gone. So I'm going to cut it short here. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for my subscribers. Thank you to Richard Stonemason, not Freemason. Thank you for everybody for inputting everything they've said. We appreciate it, and we love you all.
I see I don't know if I'm subscribed to you or not. I'll look you up. But honestly, chat. If we can get, I think you can have like 10 people on a chat, which is probably a bit difficult, because if one person speaks over another person, it kind of blurs things out. It's quite difficult. So it's sort of like a conch shell scenario, really, that is required when you've got a lot of people on. But this, it's what it's all about. It's the next best thing we got to being out on the street, really. We're having to being out on the street. But that's what we got.
I've got to go, Richard. I've got to go.
Friend. God bless everybody.
Thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate your feedback and your comments.
Sorry about a short notice.
Thank you.
I didn't find out till I was still in town when I found out, just a couple of hours before, something like that.
I love you. I love you so much.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, Rob, that sounds like a proposition, that.
No, that's not gay. That's not gay. I love you because of what you stand for.
Absolutely, Rob, and the same for you. I love you too.
Okay.
But let's do it. Just get out there, and you got Rob. You got Brian. You're not going to be standing there, but you take. I dare you. This is a dare, then. I dare you. How dare you? I dare you. Just go out with a sign, mate. The Great Reset. That's what you need on it. And you and Brian, if you're for it, but we got no more chances, Rob.
Yeah,
YouTube ain't YouTube ain't the answer. YouTube is is the supplier of information, but it ain't the answer to waking the world up.
Yeah,
it's not. It's woken us up, but most people still watch BBC and NTV and Netflix. That shit.
Oh, my friend. I'm gonna have to go. I'm really gonna have to go now.
God bless you, Lyceum. We'll catch up.
God bless you. God bless you. Love you. Love you, Richard.